Hello and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another After Hours TBR. This is where I use my interactive TBR game to choose the books that I'm going to read each month. Plus this month we have the bonus of Magical Readathon. Now if you caught up with my Magical Readathon video or TBR back at the spring equinox, you will know that essentially I rarely TBR for Magical Readathon. I tend to mood read my way through the prompts to see which calling actually calls to me. Kind of as you would if you did your GCSEs and then went on and did further exams, etc., to see where you actually end up career-wise, rather than focusing very specifically, which is how you're supposed to do it, but the TBR police haven't come for me yet, so. But essentially, because of the spring equinox and the books that I read, I have two callings that I could still get to. One is the herbologist and one is the mage hunter. Now, I would much rather be a mage hunter than a herbologist, but it will absolutely depend on what I read for the autumnal equinox to see how far I get. So that's kind of that plan. Once I've read the TBR and actually got myself an official calling, then I will worry about the additional things and I will mood read my way through those because I'm not that fussed. But the other two things that I have this month is we have Total Bollocks on the last Sunday of every month. This month I am hosting it and the prompt is unfucking believable. Now that is super vague intentionally. This is any book that is sci-fi or fantasy or just weird horror, etc. Things where a book where you have to actively suspend your disbelief. So whether it's because it has creatures in it that don't exist, like dragons, griffins, etc., or if it's a science thing but the science isn't real, it's just kind of expand, whatever it is, something where you have to suspend your disbelief, push it that little bit further than you would normally. So no contemporaries, no non-fiction, this has to be weird. And then obviously the other thing is the Lunar Book Club pick, which I don't share here because it is a surprise. However, I've not been great at keeping up with those, so it's coming. I will read them. I just need to be better at that. I need to be better at that. At the moment, no one is holding me accountable. So if you're in my Discord, please, for the love of God, hold me accountable, because I can't be trusted. But without any further ado, I'm going to show you the TBR game, see what prompts we come out with, and then I will show you the books that I have picked for those prompts. Okay, so my plan for this game is purely to just try and get those 10 prompts before the first slot of 60 seconds runs out, because I do have a habit of relying on the other goes, and I just want to see if I can do it one time. And if it means that I have to pick up prompts I'm not interested in, say la vie. The fact that I've got the Magical Readathon TBR on top of this means that there'll be flexibility anyway. So let's go. Okay, they're testing me already, so that's an historical fiction. We've got a thriller, which I'm here for. Let's go this way. Let's see if there's anything else. So yeah, I'm just, August is going to be a weird month reading wise. Oh, 2 horrors. Hell yeah. I don't want to overdo it on spooky. August is for me the start of spooky season. Fine, let's do another historical one. Because it leads up to Gothtober and our announcement videos are coming out soon. So that's really exciting, but I don't want to overdo it and end up spoiling myself for horror. Oh, literally, okay, romance. There's a fantasy one. So yeah, I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to go too hard on it, but I can't wait for you guys to see what we've got planned for Gothtober because it's going to be such a good year. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited for this year, and we're definitely taking on board the things that worked well previously. Another empty room. Versus things that didn't. Another fantasy. Oh, there we go. Did it in under a minute. Historical fiction, a foreign country. Yes, there's a book that I've had on my TBR for about 100 years that I have not picked up yet, and I need to. I need to read it. Thriller, spring vibes. Interesting. So Happy for You would have been perfect for that, but I already read that one. Horror, a cover by. Horror royalty. That's a weird combo. Now I'm panicking. Panic has set in. Historical fiction, spring vibes. Middle grade, chosen by a friend. Okay, doable. Literary favourite author. Again, Family Law would have been perfect for that, but I've read that now. Romance, feed, scroll, pick, TikTok. Terrifying. Terrifying. TikTok's romance choices are wild. So we'll see. Okay, okay, fine, okay. And then 2, fantasy sci-fi ecology theme. I don't know if Dark Age and Lightbringer count. I don't know if they count. It's weird that the ecology key theme has come up this many times because I got it last month as well. So the fact that it's come up twice, like they're randomly generated, so it is what it is. It's not my favourite TBR ever. It's just not. But it is what it is. I'm going to go choose my books and I'll be right back. There are a couple of TBR books that I can double up with Magical Readathon. So that is a good thing. It's not a perfect TBR by any stretch. And there are books on this list that I had no intention of reading anytime soon. But we're here now. So we're going to. The first prompt is going to be a thriller with spring vibes. Now, this is a thriller contemporary that came out this year by R.F. Kuang. I have not finished 𝚘𝚘. I haven't finished it. I'm enjoying it, but I haven't finished it. Yellowface has had such an interesting dialogue about it on the internet that I need to get to it sooner rather than later, and the fact that it's bright yellow is the spring vibe for me. There have been some really prominent YouTubers who have not liked this and actively not liked it, so I kind of want to read it and then see their criticism and kind of get a better understanding of it. Purely because I had a very similar response with The Other Black Girl, which was a really interesting thriller about racism and internalized racism, which some YouTubers adored, others really didn't. It was one of those ones where when I first read it, I was like, this is a really clever book. And then the more I thought about it, the more I was like, no, it isn't clever. It isn't clever, and it hasn't done anything different. It's vilified the same people. It just tricked me for a little while. And I'm worried that this one's going to do the same. But because I'm not a BIPOC reader, I have to go in understanding that my white privilege is going to colour things anyway. So if you have read this, or you've heard things, no spoilers, but leave me your thoughts down in the comments because I'm interested to have a conversation about this one. Then we had historical fiction, a foreign country. Now, I said there was a book on my TBR that I've been meaning to get to for ages, and that is Blackbird Girls. Now, this is a middle grade historical fiction about two girls who aren't friends. They just happen to know each other through school, but they are thrown together when Chernobyl is destroyed. So it is set around that area. It is not going to be a happy one, but I keep meaning to read it and I just don't prioritize it. But I've had it for a while. I think it officially counts as a TBR vet now because of how long that I've had it. It was one of the first books I bought on BookTube. So it's time. I need to read it. And the foreign setting historical fiction thing. Tick, tick. Then there was horror, a cover by. I have gone for Wranglestone by Darren Charlton. This is an LGBT, I want to say YA horror. It has zombies in it, which is what makes it horror. But I also get that it's going to have like the survival style writing. So I've not heard much about it. I saw it for a while everywhere. Everything about this cover I adore. I just adore it. I adore the colours. I enjoy like the artistic style of it. This was an absolute cover buy and I really hope it's good. I really hope it's good. And I'm not too fussed if you sit there and you go, it's not really a horror or whatever. I don't care. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it. Then I had a really difficult prompt, which was a horror royalty pick. I just googled royalty books and then looked for ones that might be horror, and what came up was The Bone Houses by Emily Lloyd Jones. I don't own this, but if I can get the audiobook, it means it doesn't technically go on my TBR, so I'm not buying any more books that I don't need to have on my TBR, but it's the only one that I could find. So again, if you've got any recommendations for horror books that have royalty in them, please let me know, because I was so lost on that one. I will say that I can double up this prompt with one of my conjuration prompts for Magical Readathon. So that is a court royal book. So if this has a royal family in it and ticks off the horror prompt, win. If it doesn't tick off the horror prompt, it's not the end of the world. Then I had a historical fiction spring vibe, and I've gone for The Ripping Tree. Now, this is one of the Luna picks that I did not get to. I have not prioritized, and I need to. And this is set in Australia. It's a historical fiction around the time that people were sent over to Australia as, I don't know, I can't remember what the term of it is. There's like a term when they literally used to just send them there and it's essentially like an island of prisons, but basically they killed the Aboriginals to like put people there, and it was fucking awful, and I feel like this is gonna be really sad. I don't know, but I just know that this has a real kind of, when I picked this months ago, I really like this, and the response in the Discord has been really positive. So I am excited to get to this one. I need to prioritize it because we will have a live show in December and I will need to have read it by then. Then I had middle grade friends pick, and Lizzie, my flatmate, picked for me The Vanishing of Evelyn Jones. Now, I have read The Haunting and the Bewitching of Evelyn Jones, but I don't remember the ending of The Bewitching, so I don't know when I finished that how much sentience I actually had. So I will probably reread the end of that one as well as this one. Alan Jones is a middle grade series that is very spooky, very fun, very light, and I just really, really enjoy it. So I don't know why I haven't got to this one sooner, because I was really excited when it arrived and then I just didn't read it, which is very silly of me. But I'm excited for this one. So yeah, this, usually at the end of these videos I go, which book do you think I should start with? It'll be this one. Like, who am I kidding? It'll be this one. The cute little middle grade full of like ghosts and spooks, it'll be this one. Then we had literary contemporary favourite author, and I said that family law would have been perfect for this because I adore Elizabeth Acevedo's writing, and then I remembered I have one book left of this that I have not read. So with The Fire on High, I don't know anything about it. I just know that it's a contemporary, and I think it has teenage pregnancy or young mums in it. But other than that, I don't know anything about it. I just know that it's Elizabeth Acevedo, and I don't think I've given a single book of hers less than 5 stars. So that's a strong choice. The one that I was nervous about, genuinely nervous about, was the romance pick, feed scroll, TikTok. And I spent a good 20 minutes just scrolling through my For You page. No books, nothing came up. So then I looked up BookTok, and that was a time. And then I thought, I need to be more specific. I'm going to ruin my algorithm for about a week. I'm going to look up romance book recommendations, and one of the ones that came up that I actually owned rather than buying new books was Delilah Doesn't Care. Now this was gifted to me by Lamia, so thank you very much, Lamia. I have TBR'd this once before for Pride Month, so literally 2 months ago. Didn't get a chance to get to it, so hopefully we'll be able to prioritise it here. But this was my TikTok pick. It got a 3 or 4 on spice level, so we'll see. That's why TikTok recommended it to me. But I've heard really good things, and this is like, you don't care about this, I care about this. It's by 𝚘𝚘𝚘, and 𝚘𝚘𝚘𝚘 is one of maybe 2 publishers that I actually trust with romance, so hyped. And then the last 2 were the same prompt for the same genre, which was a fantasy or sci-fi with ecology as a theme. Now, Gavin did this book as a book club pick, and I didn't get to it in time, so it's annoying. The live show is in like 4 days, and I haven't started it. I might have time to start and finish it, but we'll see. But this is about Emily Wilde, who wants to create essentially an encyclopedia of fairies, so the study of ecology felt apt. And then the other one I've gone for is a hot escape one, which is Frontier by Grace Curtis. This is set after climate change, and it's a kind of like space frontier, but it's still Earth survival type sci-fi, I think. Plus sprayed edge, so that's fun. This is just a standard copy. Everyone else seems to have a really nice fairy loot copy, and I don't. I just have the standard one, so be sad for me. But this one's a sprayed edge, so 2 very different books. I wanted to have something very, very different, but also thankfully both quite short. So that is that. And then for the rest of my TBR for the Magical Readathon, for my spells and incantations, I need to get a D score, which means I need to read 3 books essentially to get that and tick off all 3 prompts. Those 3 prompts can be ticked off with the first 3 in the Death Note series. Now, I'm not great at picking up manga straight away or prioritizing a series in manga because I'm pretty new to reading manga anyway, but this will be a reread of volume 1 for me, so I imagine I will get through it quite quickly. And then realistically, the other 2 with Black and Read in Silence prompts should not be too difficult. I am tempted to vlog the process because I have the other 3, but I haven't decided. I haven't decided if I am definitely going to vlog that, but there's potential there for me to do that. The last time I tried to do a graphic novel and manga vlog, I had a breakdown because I watched a man get beaten up outside and it was brutal. And then a couple of weeks ago, I tried to do just it on Insta, and that was a weird weekend too. So I don't think the universe wants me to do content about manga and graphic novels as a standalone. For restoration, I have to read a book in different places every single time I pick it up. So I have picked up Dark Age. Now, I did TBR this last month, but technically this is carrying over, not re-TBRing it. I'm just using it for a prompt. I never finished it. I haven't even started it yet. I did finish Iron Gold. Lightbringer comes out in a couple of days. I was expecting my arc to arrive by now, and it hasn't, which is a little concerning. But I think if I both read this and listen to it as an audiobook, reading it in different places should not be difficult, even though it's a chunker. So that's my plan with that one. Big big chunky book, but I think, see, things I feel like a lot of people for that prompt have gone for really short reads, so they're just going to read like a couple of pages here and a couple of pages there. I've gone, well, I've got places to be and things to do, so we'll do this all over the place. I don't think I'm the smart one. I don't think this is a smart move, but it's the move that I'm making. There's a reason I don't play chess. However, as I just said, people being smart and choosing short reads for Magical Readathon. One of the other restoration prompts is start a book before bed, so I've gone for a book that is 200 pages long. Power of Hades is a romance, and I'm pretty sure it's a self-published romance. This was gifted to me by Sophie, who is also in Becca's Discord, which is how I met Lamia. So thank you for this. I'm going to prioritise this. I thought a nice short read before I go to bed. I do feel like it's going to be steamy, but that's not why I'm reading it before bed. And now I'm worried that because I've said that out loud, you're just not going to believe me. I'm reading this one before bed. That's all I can, I need to shut up. I need to stop talking. And then the alchemy prompts were to start a series and continue a series, but I don't have to do the one where it's finish a series because that has nothing to do with the prompts that I need to tick off. I was gifted The Light Struck by Hodder. This is a completed copy. It's absolutely stunning, but I haven't actually read The Darkening yet, so I really want to do these two. Now, this is the vlog that I'm fully intending to do in August. Whether I do a full Magical Readathon vlog or not, I have every intention of vlogging this because I don't get gifted books by publishers very often, so when I do, I want to make sure that you're seeing my genuine response to them, and vlogging is the easiest way to do that. So I'm really, really hyped for these ones. I picked up The Darkening at 𝚘𝚘, and I picked it up at 𝚘𝚘 because I was talking to one of the editors from Hodder, and I said, like, if you were going to recommend a book that has LGBT, BIPOC or disability rep in that is also a fantastic fantasy, which one would you recommend? And this is the first one they picked up. They were like, I helped work on this, so I'm absolutely biased, but it's stunning. And I was like, sold. So that is kind of why I was really excited to then be gifted the second one. As a duology, I think it's going to be really interesting, and I think as content it should also be really interesting. So that is the vlog that you should expect. I am getting better with posting content regularly. I have filmed quite a bit, I just haven't edited anything. As I said in the most recent video with the reading catch up with Olivia, it's been a weird 6-7 months. I'm hoping the next ones are better. They can't really be worse. Like, realistically, they can't be worse, but we'll see. I've got a really eclectic TBR. I've still got some books from last month's TBR that I want to carry over. I also have other Luna books that I need to catch up on. So lots of varied reading moving forwards. But let me know in the comments down below, what book are you most excited to read in August? Are you taking part in Magical Readathon? Treat yourself to something from Waypoint because it supports me and my content. And most importantly, have a nice day.